So if you want to say hi, your name and where you're coming from, this is a really global meeting. Who would like to start? Say your name and where you're calling from.
Michel from France.
Genevieve from France.
Herman from Singapore.
SS, okay.
Sorry, SS.
SS from Seoul, South Korea. My first time.
I'm Tim Sprague from Sydney, Australia. My first time.
I'm Sophia from Brisbane, Australia.
Herman, you say hi now that we didn't hear. People may not know where you come from.
Yeah, hi, Herman from Singapore in a reasonably houred 11 a.m.
I'm Sunny from California, from Los Angeles.
I'm Danny from Indonesia.
Hi everyone, Janine from Point Lonsdale near Melbourne in Australia.
Lily from Victoria, BC in Canada.
Hi guys, I'm Robbie from Portland, Oregon.
Hi everyone, this is Dharmesh from Bangalore in India. Hi Lily.
Hi Dharmesh.
Hi everybody.
You say your name and where are you calling from? Diana, where are you today?
Diana is in Mexico. I know her. I'm in Mexico, yeah. And it's 9 o'clock at night now. So yeah.
Okay. Great to have you here. Esther, do you say hi?
Oh, I think I said already. I'm from Los Angeles.
Okay, welcome. Well, welcome everybody. I'm Damien from Los Angeles too. So I have some neighbors with me here today, but people from all over the world, what is really amazing. And for people who are joining for first time, our goal in the Asian Supervisors Network is to have a space to bring awareness of coaching supervision in the Australasia area. And we invite our colleagues in a time that is better for you than for other people in other parts of the world to meet and have presentations and discussions on different topics. So every month is a different topic. And I want to invite everyone here to let us know if you would like to present next year, because this is a learning space for everyone. So with Lily, we have been facilitating the Americas Coaching Supervisors Network. And this network and our goal is to bring awareness of coaching supervision worldwide. So this is a free space where we learn from each other. Supervisors come and talk and present on different topics. So the new people today from Australia, people who are graduating, Dharmesh, we talk about maybe you also presenting something. Everybody's in Giannin presented in the past.
Yeah.
So everybody is invited to participate and to present. Just let us know. And when we do the schedule for next year, we can have a schedule with a topic that you would like to present. So we would like to do it interactive. So basically the person in charge presents and then we all participate, because Elena, our goal is learning by creating community, developing relationships with colleagues from all over the world. So that's our goal. And so I want to ask you just to be sure that there is a space, 10, 15 minutes for small groups, discussion and interaction. And let me introduce you to Elena. So Elena, I know Elena for many years. Elena is one of the pioneers of coaching in Latin America. She had the first coaching school in Argentina, and she, over the years, trained hundreds, I don't know what, thousands, I don't know how many people who have gone through your programs in Argentina and in Mexico. And she also has been involved as a leader in many different positions in different organizations, and she has an amazing program with the blind. I don't know if anybody has seen the video that ICF put together, performing, showing Elena with a program that she had trained in Mexico, people from the blind community to become coaches. What is really inspiring.
And Susie Warman.
So she is, I respect her very much. She went through a coaching supervision program a few years ago, and she was invited to do a session in a program that we both presented in Latin America. It's called, it's a 30 days challenge where they bring 2 coaches every day for 30 days. And Elena, we both presented, and Elena's presentation was amazing. And I said, Elena, please come to the Asian Supervisors Network and share the same presentation you did in Spanish to our colleagues of the Asian Supervisors Network. So thank you for accepting the invitation. And I don't know if there is anything else you want people to know about you.
No, I don't have. I think we can know each other while we are working together today. I don't like conferences. I like dialogues. So please, is not to reserve your questions until we finish or until I finish. Please, please, please bring your question in the moment you want. I want to present to you this conversation we are in with Jean-François. It's an MCC living in Thailand, in Bangkok. And after some hours of asking ourselves what's missing, I would say that we have to really take care of our profession in this moment. This is a very important moment where if we continue doing exactly what we were doing until here, we are losing our future, the possibility of our future. We need to grow. And not because I studied supervision and we are supervisors. Yesterday, I had a webinar where I presented some cases that I considered were unethical. No? It's incredible how coaches know the rule, know what the ethics code says. But when they are listening a conversation of coaching or are the coaches, they have all the excuses to continue the conversation. So we need every day more and more to install the possibility of supervision, because this also will make our coaches grow understanding where they are, how do they listen, how we bring our world to the world of our coaches, our clients. And I think this is something that will make a big, big difference. So when we were working with Jean-François, we found that probably we had worked a lot in creating. Can you allow me to share the screen? We have worked a lot creating mastery. Let me see, where is my presentation now? It's here. Why I can't see it? Oh, here it is. But what's the next? And we have seen that probably the next point is going to artistry. And I would love to generate this conversation in a way where you can see that we can find our artist inside only when we are open to see our pains, to see our shames, when we can confront with our shadows. And I think that's a great space that the supervision brings to this game. So I would present you this man. This man is called Jorge Don. Jorge Don was a great Argentine dancer, classic dancer. He died in Switzerland. But this part belongs to a film that was called Les Uns et les Autres. Do you remember it? That was an homage to the people of the Second World. No? And I would love if you can look at it dancing and see if he's a master or you can see an artist. And see if you can find some difference between being a master and being an artist. Okay, so why don't we talk a little? Why do you think we can call this man a master, if you think so? And why you can call him an artist? What do you look at to say he's a master? What do you look at when you say he's an artist? Damian, can you open the mic to whoever wants to talk?
Yeah, anybody can open the mic and just speak. Can you want to raise your hand or just speak? People can just unmute themselves and talk.
So for me, Elena, the mastery is in the technique, having the technique down, and then the artistry is evoking the feelings in me with the beautiful soft movements and the fluidity and I could feel it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Great. What else?
The mastery is in the embodiment of each gesture.
Okay, it's in the embodiment of each gesture. And where do you see an artist, if you see an artist in this man dancing?
It's also in the fluidity of his moving, it's in the fluidity of his moving. And yeah, I find it in the fluidity.
Okay, thank you. What else?
I find that I'm finding that he uses his body as an instrument, and it is the vehicle with which he expresses himself.
And that's mastery? Or is
it's creativity and mastery?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a bit curious about this dichotomy because for me, there is no mastery without artistry, and there is no artistry without mastery, that they're complementary components of excellence.
Okay, what do you need to say this is mastery, and what do you need to see to say this is artistry?
Well, for mastery, I need to see artistry in the performance.
Okay.
And for really deep artistry, there needs to be mastery. I don't see them, the one really existing without the other.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Peter. Thank you. We were talking with Jean-Francois for hours about this. So I love this conversation, hours, trying to see where's mastery, where's artistry, if there's a difference or not. So this is beautiful. What else?
For me, mastery is the dancing. The person can dance, right? But then the artistry is when it's showing only the hands. That's something. The person is still there, but it's only showing the hands. That's an art.
You know, when I was thinking in artistry, I remembered this film and this man dancing. And I said, what a courageous man that accepted that only one hand was going to dance for a while. And then only two hands were going to dance for a while. No? I would say, you're crazy. If I have to dance with all my body, not with my hand. No? So thank you very much. Somebody else?
Yeah, I think that what defines artistry is that there is an artwork created.
Uh-huh.
So the question is, what is an artwork?
Yes. You know, Michelle, that this dance was filmed at the foot of the Tour Eiffel.
Today, Elena, we had a conversation, and Robbie was in a group that we were talking about mastery. And I was saying that for mastery, you need that creativity, that artistry, that making the difference. And then we had a conversation about, not for now, but sometimes the expectation for a master coach, maybe not necessarily emphasize or look for creativity in the assessment process. Outside the assessment process, yes, but in the assessment process of MCC, we're talking about what is mastery and that artistry and that creativity. This is what, for me, define mastery, and sometimes can be challenging. We're talking about assessments, sending recording for assessment for ICF at the master level, that maybe the expectation is that they follow some rules more than being completely artistic and creative and innovators, but they do. Yeah, I want to make that comment.
Yeah. So this is sharing what we thought. This is not true, no? But this was after hours and hours of thinking and having conversations. We think that mastery appears when you absolutely manage a technique. It's effortless, it's flawless, it comes like fluid, no? And that you know your craft deeply. And you begin to understand what is wisdom. That it has not to do with knowing, has to do with having experience, making an experience of your knowledge, talking from your experience. And I think this is very important because we also are working in the differences between the interpretations from the West and from the East of this world. Because if we don't understand our cultures, how do we relate to the world? It will be very difficult to work with other cultures. We can't be only like tourists looking to other cultures. Can we, at least for a while, use the eyes of the other side of the world to look at it when you are with a client that belongs to that part of the world? So this is what we thought about mastery. But when we think that artists appear, and this is a very short video of Picasso, the painter, and he's drawing on a glass, no? And look at him drawing. Look the way he relates to the brush, to the space, to the shadows. To begin to see what happens when you are really coming from your freedom. thinking in mistakes when he's doing this? Is he thinking, I don't like it? Is he judging himself negatively? But what have you seen in his way of being when he was creating this flower pot?
There's a confidence in his skills.
I think he was in flow. I believe he was in flow with what he was doing. He wasn't overthinking. He was just going for it, just in flow.
Yes. Yes.
The fluidity and just waiting for seeing what emerges.
Yes.
There's a kind of return to childlike simplicity.
Yes. Yes. And you see that we found that also. That's when you arrive to that point, when you unleash the artist that is inside you, that original part of yourself where you don't judge yourself when you are doing it. There's something so simple. You don't need to argue a lot. You don't have to make a very big conversation to express that. It's so simple. Yes.
It is simple, but it is also daring somehow.
Yes, I loved him using his fingers, no? And seeing what's missing for me here, no? What would be better here? Yeah, okay, let's see. So we were thinking that was mastery, and we found that artistry probably is anchored in mastery. We need, as artists, first of all, to really be very good in our craft, be managing that technique absolutely, without thinking about the technique. For being a master, you forget technique. I don't know how many of you have studied music. I studied piano for lots of years. And I also remember when I was beginning playing piano, how I was reading the music. And I was reading note by note, and then I could read 2 notes, and then 3 notes, and then the compass. But then I could understand the phrase. I could understand music as a conversation. But that needs time. You can't do it from the beginning. So first of all, you have to manage the technique. And then it comes this second part that it's growing over the technique. It's anchored in your mastery, but has a lot in common with your imagination, and where you don't seek for perfection or correctness. It's just your expression. Is original and distinctive of you, who you are. That is your gift. And for sure, if it is art, will be remembered over time. If not, it will die. And the other thing that we found is that artists inspire across cultures, could go more furthermore than the minds. They touch the hearts. They touch the humanity of people. Move people. And this, Pablo Picasso painted this painting when he was 5 years old. He was very good since he was a kid. But once that he was an old man, he was walking through Paris, he said to a friend when he saw some kids that were painting the river, no? And he said, it took me 5 years to paint like a painter, like a professional, but a lifetime to come back and paint like a child. Just be free. Just be myself when I'm painting. So how can we apply this in coaching and in leadership? Where do we see it? With artistry, and this has a lot to do, and we can begin to relate it with the work that we do in supervision, is also when you are ready to soar, do not hold you back. When you are decided not to manage only the technique or manage yourself as a product, but really be able to be with the other one and create in that moment a bubble that where you are not you and the other one is not the other. We are together. I can accompany you in your space of creation. The second one is this creation of spaces. You know, there's an author, a philosopher, Heidegger, that talk about this kind of spaces, and this kind of spaces appear always in relationships. But the relationship is the context. And if the context is open, the context is a loving context. It's a context of acceptance, of no fear. What this man says is, the idea that appears is what you see, but what you don't see is the light that enlightened that idea. And the light is the space created by the relationship. And this has to do with our own fears. And the space to talk about our fears, probably the best space, is supervision. So those moments, is only the coach the artist? No, probably the artistry happens when the client and you are the artists. But you are just the context, this new bubble of trust, presence, openness, freedom, out of moral, where you are the space for the other one to express and reinvent his or her own life or whatever they are bringing to the session. So for sure, that's an expression also of unconditional love. And we are also open, we must be open and willing to be transformed by the client. Because if we are not learning in that space, what we are looking for, what is our commitment with the client, to accompany the client in a process of going to the unknown. If we are not going to the unknown with the client, if we don't preserve our curiosity. So this is how we are thinking that we can find artistry in coaching and in leadership. And probably after researching a little more on this, we can begin thinking, what would be artistry in supervision? we have a lot of masters already in supervision. Now, do we have today artists? What are we needing for that to happen? Would you like to share that? Damian?
We have 20 minutes to finish, around 20-25 minutes. So do you want to now spend people to go to breakout rooms to share?
I would love that, to share that. Mm-hmm. And I would love also if in that sharing, you can see something that I would love to show you that Lady Gaga said. Lady Gaga said, if we have only 20 minutes more, let me share this because I think it will complete this idea. Look at what she said.
What is the message that you most want people to receive?
I want them to free themselves, and I want them to be proud of who they are, and I want them to celebrate all the things they don't like about themselves the way that I did. Really encourage people to look into the darkness and look into places that you would not normally look to find uniqueness and specialness, because that's where the diamonds are hiding. It's the greatest piece of advice I've ever received. It is, if you don't have any shadows, you're not standing in the light.
Would you like to share what supervision, if supervision has something to do with this?
So do you want people to share that in small rooms or now?
Yes, I would love that.
Okay, how 10 minutes? 15 minutes?
10 minutes.